I was at a church that did Saturday night 5 services on a Sunday, I'm pretty sure, at its peak, and midweek stuff all the time, and there was always a reason to be there.
Dave Lillo-Trines started going to Pentecostal churches when he was 15 years old.
So my friend from school went to church and sent me home with a little flyer, which was for like a camp, which was heaps cheaper than holiday program. And so my mum was like, that looks great. I will send you that.
Dave spent 10 years in and around Hillsong. He studied at the college. He worked as a youth leader, managed Sunday services, worked in youth outreach. Some of this was paid, and some of it was as a volunteer.
What did it feel like to be part of this?
It felt like you were chosen or special, or there was something about you. I felt like it was, the reason why I was alive was to help build the church. It'd be about like, why can't we get more people to come to youth group, or why can't we get more people to come along on Sunday? It was just like pushing all the time. Like you could be at church 24/7 doing something.
Dave would also be asked to do jobs on behalf of church leaders.
I found myself doing it all the time, like driving people around. This pastor or this person needs to have their kids looked after, or you go and mow their lawn. It will help them prepare something for Sunday.
Is it your choice, or are you being asked?
It's a little bit more nuanced than that, I think. No one's ever has to do anything. And I remember someone like Pastor Brian would get up and say, isn't it cool that we don't have to do this, we get to. I get to do this thing with eternal significance and impact.
Shane Meyer-Holt has heard all of this before. He co-hosts a podcast, and he is from current and former megachurch members.
One of the ways in which it's framed within these contexts is that God leads through God's chosen leaders. This person becomes a stand-in for the voice of God. Therefore, it's the rest of the congregation's job to get in behind what God is doing. However that starts out, the end game is almost always the same. If you give small numbers of people too much power, liberties get taken and people get crushed.
I didn't think much about, people and their feelings and their lives. And I remember this one girl that I was working with, and she was a volunteer, and she found the whole thing really difficult and started crying, and I just was like, oh, why are you crying? Like, why can't you just make this better, and why can't we all just do a better job? And I felt like at the time that was reasonable, and now I look back and it's horrible. People shouldn't cry if they're volunteering their time and trying to do something they care about. Yet there was this crazy pressure that we put on ourselves and on each other.
People get into this stuff with really good intentions because they want to make a difference. They want to be a part of this thing. But they don't always know entirely what they're signing up for. And so you end up with staff members and volunteers, people who believe they're a part of something good, who want to be a part of something important, who find a deep sense of their identity in this, but who also find that they're pushed to their limits and their bodies are breaking down and their mental health is suffering, but they cannot say no.
I was working so hard and doing so much that I was, not really sleeping very much. And I went along to the doctor. The doctor sort of says, it seems like you're suffering from really high levels of anxiety and depression. And I was like, mate, no, that's not me at all. I'm not depressed. I love everything. I'm a Christian. God loves me. I go to church and I do all the right stuff. This can't be the road I'm going down,
Dave's prescribed medication doesn't agree with him, and he spirals.
I wound up just waking up in hospital, and I was, in a mental health unit at hospital with my phone taken away, I wasn't allowed to leave.
Dave had tried to take his own life.
I suddenly realised, I'm not healthy. And, it's funny how you have to wind up in hospital for the penny to drop, but I sort of, realised that things weren't good at all. And I made an internal choice then, I've got to get out of here.
See
I
how
think we're
sweet
good.
he is? See how sweet he is? He's the loveliest. How lucky I am.
Okay.
This is Dave's mum, Trish. Not a Pentecostal, but she did witness all of this.
To me, Christian meant it's safe. The Christianity that I knew is safe, was safe, put it that way. So I never queried it. He comes back and he wants to be with friends his age and have fun. Of course, safe place.
What role do you think Hillsong and the way it treats employees played in what was going on with Dave? What do you think?
Abuse. That's the first word that comes to my head, abuse. It comes from one boss to the next boss, to the next boss, to the next boss. And I'm not saying that the purpose is bad. I'm sure they believe in what they're doing, but they don't realize the consequences.
How do you feel?
I wouldn't put it as strongly as that, maybe, but on the other hand, I don't disagree with anything Mum said, if that makes sense. It gets to a point where it's not really about the big picture anymore or helping people as much as it's about keeping everything running and keeping people doing what they do and making sure the system happens.
That's right. It's more run like an enterprise, not a church. I mean, a church should be something where people find a nice community and support. And you can find that there as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure many people did. But you have to know the limits.